Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the Haven Family Farm. We are on site on the land clearing project that you've probably seen the previous video of, and as you can see, we have a chipper here. So after the customer saw the size of the burn pile that was left when we were done, they decided that they did not want to try and burn all that. So we are back. Been working at this yesterday. This pile here was about this tall. There is some stuff that can't go through the chipper. It's just small little twigs and junk. So we're just going to take that and push it up in the woods up there on top of the stumps. But we have this pile to finish, or to do, and this pile to finish digging through, and we're just chipping what we can, and again, just pushing the other stuff up in the woods. So we have a chipper here. This is a 12-inch capacity chipper. We're not putting anything near that big in it, but I like the bigger capacity because you can shove quite a few branches and stuff in at once rather than just a little dinky thing. So this is a pretty cool chipper, Eager Beaver. I believe it's a 75 horsepower, but it has a gas engine on it. We rented this, so I'm guessing that the rental company decided to not have to deal with emissions on a diesel engine and so it's a gas jobber, but it's been working great. We have a couple piles of chips over here, big long. This goes into the woods about 30 feet, and we started a second one here. So what we'll work on this morning is we're going to sort through this a little more. We have some more firewood logs to shuttle all the way down to the piles down there. And then, like I said, we'll sort through some stuff. This stuff right in front of the bucket is junk. So the big machine that we rented is gone. So we're back to using the Mini, which is actually quite perfect for this. The thumb on this is way better than on the other machine. And, you know, we're not moving big, heavy stuff. You know, we're basically picking through. So this, my smaller machine here has been working fantastic. I've actually been able to, some of the bigger branches and stuff, I can swing them right into the feeder house there with the machine and don't even have to pick them up. So very handy. So we're going to get to work here, and stay tuned, hit the subscribe button and that bell icon, because we are going to be renting a bulldozer to go ahead and grade and finish all this off. We're going to have all this stuff here to try and push, and I was going to do it with my equipment, you know, the skid steer and the Mini, but it keeps raining, and we have all these stump holes that I have filled in, and they're so soft. The skid steer is not going to move out here. It's just too rough and too wet. And this machine does fine, except it's pretty small for grading this whole area. I'll be here forever. So I'm just going to rent a dozer for a day and boom, be done with it. So let's get started moving logs and picking through the pile. Working on moving this pile of logs here. Sometimes it's easier when you're trying to move them to just separate them out of the pile and then kind of grab a hold of them rather than trying to grab a bunch out of the pile right away, because you'll be trying to grab them and you'll end up messing up the pile, since they're all not exactly the same size. Even if they were, you still go in there and you knock them all over the place. So I just find it's easier to go ahead and set a few aside and then go ahead and grab them. Our log piles are getting fuller and fuller. So some of these in the other pile, can't even put them down straight. Look at that, made a big mess. So anyway, this pile's got some smaller ones in it. You know, these are good for firewood. The other piles have some that are good for the sawmill, so I'll probably take them home. And I don't think very many people that watch these videos know that I have a sawmill. I don't think I've ever shown it in a video because I honestly don't have time to use it much. It was one of those things where hey, it'd be great to mill my own lumber sizes and things. I've had the thing for probably 5 years, and I've used it, but not near as much as I thought I would, or as much as I want to, really. Oh, look at that. We got 2. Well, we'll take this one here and we'll kind of get them even. Just don't seem to have the time, and sometimes when I have time, I haven't had logs to mill. So at some point maybe we'll get some videos of cutting a few logs. I'll show you. It's just a very basic mill, but it works great. So maybe I'll be able to do a video on that coming up. Down into a big mud hole we go, and up onto the pile we go. Those are gonna fall and be crooked, aren't they? Oh, nope, it stayed there all right. Well, we're sorting through this pile here. I guess that's a pretty big log. So trying to separate out stuff that'll get pushed into the woods is just kind of, there's an old stump. So stuff that goes in the woods kind of stays in one pile. And then we've got, I'm trying to make piles of stuff that I'm going to walk up to the chipper. This is almost on the other side. Maybe it can just stay over there. And then finally, if there's any log pieces, because some of the smaller ones, like I said earlier, you know, this one's obviously not smaller, but it was all busted up. So I didn't bother to save it for firewood. I already have so many logs over there, but a friend of mine's actually going to take some of them, so he has a firewood processor, so it's no big deal for him to blast through a whole bunch of them. So then we got this kind of bigger one here. So what I'm trying to do is get all these little dinky branches that are 2 foot long and whatnot kind of sorted out, and then I put these larger ones in the pile. Those are the ones that are going to go through the chipper, and this other just mangled mess is just staying and going up in the woods. So it's been a real fun job. I don't know if I said it in another video or previously, or I can't remember now. So much time goes by, you don't remember what's going on. But you know, I did not stack these in such a way to take the pile back apart. It was just holy crap, that guy's pretty long there. I was just piling them to get them out of my way while I was doing the clearing. And because there was no intent to ever move the piles, the customer was just going to burn them. So it didn't matter if they were a big tangled mess, they were just going to burn a little at a time. So at any rate, like I said earlier, once they saw the size of the pile, one of my customers kind of figured it was going to be too much to burn, and the other one didn't realize it till after. Anyway, so they hired me to sort back through the pile, and like I said, you know, chip what we can, firewood what we can, and push the rest in the woods. So that is what we are doing. Alright, we got to move the chipper, so I just kind of thought I'd show you what I've been doing here. This is not the way I'd want to move this. It's down in a hole right now. Come on. Oh, good grief. I have to use the boom here. I was trying to back up, but since the thing was caught down in a hole, I still have the jack kind of down a little bit too, so I'm trying not to drag that in the ground at the same time. Lots of fun here, but this is about the only way to do it since it's too muddy for the truck. Lucky for me, the jack is a square tube. It's a pretty heavy duty jack, and I'm in a mud hole. Oh, there we go. Now we're moving again. Now for a second. I guess we'll just keep... nope. I'm in a mud hole. That's what happens. All of a sudden, everything's going fine, and then you just hit a wet spot, and that's the end of it. You're not moving anymore. I'm going to run into some logs here if I'm not careful. There we go. Come on, chipper. Keep coming. Dropped in a wet hole again. Well, I think we'll be able to keep going. Alright, I'm going to finish this. My battery's dying on me here. Alright guys, that's it. I had to take the chipper back, so this is what we're left with. We got some piles up there, and then this junk here. This is all going to get pushed in the woods. It was just kind of stuff that was too much of a pain to go on the chipper. Some roots and just short, you know, little 2-foot branch pieces, 3-foot pieces. So all that is going to get pushed up into the woods. So stay tuned for that video. Like I said, we got a bulldozer coming. We'll probably use the Mini to just take it and swing it and kind of throw it in the woods. Some of it anyway. And then we'll bulldoze all this up. We'll grade it out with the dozer. So stay tuned for that. So don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss the upcoming video. Questions, comments down below, please. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys on the next video.